All right, here's my audience for the speech. And then for each of the visuals I have on my presentation, I gave them a Google Slides link with the picture of the visual and the name of the author on top of the visual. And it's in the order that I'm going to be bringing it up for my speech. And then for the video of the visuals, it'll pop up on the screen. And then on top of the visual, it'll say the author and the year, the same thing that they see in the same order. But that's how they'll see each of the visuals as I bring it up in my speech in the correct order. And I'll say the name of the author and the source so that they know which one I'm talking about as it comes up throughout my presentation. So that's just how I'm doing the visuals. Negative dietary and lifestyle choices are causing serious damage to our mental and physical health every single day. Diets amongst our society have led to higher health problems and more mental health issues, and these numbers are only continuing to grow. And this has been studied in the International Journal of Circumpolar Health in 2003 by McGrath and Hanna. Reading through both primary and secondary sources by credible authors has educated me heavily on the topic and urged me to argue it based on all the important stuff I saw. And this visual in Frontiers in Nutrition by Greg created in 2022 displayed all the research that went into just this one source, so it shows how much has been studied and how much information comes into just one source. So it shows how the information I'm talking about is truly credible, and there's a lot of study to back it up. It is important that healthy lifestyles and diets are not ignored among society, and that they are regularly implemented in order to receive both positive mental health benefits and live a long life. I'll first discuss the problem at hand with unhealthy lifestyles and the root of this problem, and finally how we as a society can live healthily. Negative diet and lifestyle choices are very common among society, and these choices have been proven to be detrimental to almost every aspect of life. The average diet has seen increased health problems and decreased mental health, with increases in obesity, depression, and suicide, just to list a few, as studied by McGrath Hanna in 2003. Unhealthy lifestyles and food intake has been proven by studies to create negative moods, produce psychiatric disorders, and this was studied in Nutrients by Bremner in 2022. And he goes in depth into specific disorders. The average college student is forced into unhealthy lifestyles due to the overall college experience, which adds even more stress onto their already stressful lifestyle. And this was studied in Symbolic Interaction by Harris in 2017. The intake of fats has been statistically proven to disrupt the process of serotonin synthesis, which is a neurotransmitter that deals with the development of depression. And this was studied by Bremner in 2022 in his piece of work. And this visual shows all the different paths that stress can cause, starting from the brain, leading to many different disorders. So it really shows how it can create a lot of different effects, different disorders, and how the root of the problem starts from stress, and how important it is to really attack this problem so that you can cut off all the possible paths to this disorder. Now that you've seen how much a problem unhealthy lifestyles have become, let's look at the root of this issue and how it became about, because that's the best way to attack it, to start from the root. And the cause is that negative diet and lifestyle choices tend to be easier and more convenient for people, especially those who live very busy lives, because they feel that they can't squeeze in time for things such as exercise or healthier foods, which tend to be more expensive than something like fast food, which is much more unhealthy. College students have been proven to have high rates of eating very unhealthy foods due to their overall experience, making them feel forced to resort to cheap, easy foods, as documented by Harris in 2017. Excuses such as work are very common amongst college students as the reason why they don't implement healthy lifestyles, also noted by Harris in 2017. So there's a lot of amongst college students feeling that they don't have either the time or the money for healthier lifestyles. stress and fat intake have been proven by various surveys and studies to be connected, and this is documented in the Nutrition Journal by Natiskin and Fiosco in 2015. Overeating has been proven to be connected to psychiatric disorders and self-consciousness about appearance due to the overconsumption of food, as documented by Bremner in 2020. And this shows just how much it all has to do with unhealthy lifestyles. And this visual is a really good example of that. It shows by Greg in 2022, shows the path of unhealthy lifestyles to overweight and obesity, and how that can cause mental disorders and just overall sadness. Shows how healthy lifestyles can lead to better well-being and mental condition, and it shows just how it's all interconnected and how you can't skip over one to see good effects. Overeating, obesity, and psychiatric disorders such as depression have been linked through studies as a coping mechanism for stress, documented by Bremner in 2020. And seeing how this issue came to be, let's now look at the steps we can take to solve this amongst ourselves. Learning the importance of healthy choices and all the positive effects that come with it, ensure that everyone sees how beneficial and life-changing it could be if it's implemented. It makes it kind of impossible to not implement it after you see how good it can be. Good diets, probiotic intake, and exercising on a regular basis have been backed by studies to have therapeutic benefits, as documented by Greg in 2022. Surveys have been proving that low levels of fat and sodium intake is directly connected to low levels of stress amongst current students, documented by Natiskin and Fiosco in 2015. So it shows how pretty much every negative effect has the opposite positive effect if you implement good lifestyles. Increased brain development has been seen by those who implemented a healthy lifestyle, as well as positive increases in health and body functions, documented by McGrath and Hanna in 2003. Knowing all this information is one step, but next is implementing it. It's clear how beneficial this healthy lifestyle can be. Start cutting out fat and sodium intake, replacing it with more fruits and vegetables, go on regular exercises, and the most important part is just make sure you're consistent with this healthy lifestyle. We as a society must make an effort to implement a healthy lifestyle and diet so that we can see positive effects in both our mental and physical health. After seeing how large of a problem and the root of these unhealthy lifestyles, it is critical that we as a society solve this issue and live long and healthy lives. Implementing a healthy lifestyle will truly change your life and will improve every aspect of it. And thank you for listening to my speech.